I also know a lot of people who refuse to play games because they can just watch a game playing by a streamer. Now you can just create a game by your own, sell it via Steam without any contracts, without any publishers.
Lovely to meet you anyway. Thank you for taking time out to have a chat today. So I'm excited to have our conversation. So roll on, getting stuck in. So what I was thinking is that let you introduce yourself, if that's okay, and then we can jump in and have a chat. I do have a list of questions, but we can see how the conversation goes, if that's okay.
Yes, definitely. My name is Mikhail Tsyrulnikov, and I am a founder of GameRay, which is actually a games digital distribution platform. We actually sell digital games, and so we worked in Eastern Europe and were able to reach like top 3 by sales, top 3 companies in our area in Eastern Europe. And so now trying to create and launch a platform in Europe.
Incredible. And what inspired you to start your game distribution company?
Yeah, so I had an idea of starting my own business since I was at university, but I started my career as an employee and I worked as a project manager in e-commerce. And so by the time I worked in a pretty large retailer in Eastern Europe, we sold like appliances, electronics, and stuff like that. So I was a professional in e-commerce area. And so by that time, the business grew really fast, but it was impeded by physical delivery logistics because the whole infrastructure wasn't well developed by that time. And so I was thinking that it would be great to start a company in e-commerce field, but without physical delivery. And so once I came across the company which offered sell us digital distribution games, and so I thought it was perfect match because it was e-commerce without physical delivery. And also I liked computer games, so it was on an intersection of my professional skills and my passions. And so that's how it started.
Incredible. And who doesn't like computer games? So I'm a little bit jealous that you got to work in that industry. So, but what to do? What were some of the initial challenges that you faced when you were starting the company?
I think the greatest challenge was to have a direct contracts with publishers, because actually to be successful in sales and to compete with other companies, you need direct contracts with publishers. We now actually have more than 150 publishers at our store. But when you start, you're just a small company, and so no one wants to work with you. And on the other hand, you have your competitors, which already worked with these publishers. So it was hard to grow the company to some numbers when you can actually achieve a publishers and said them, look, so we are selling a lot of your titles, so let's work directly.
Incredible. So if a customer comes to you at the moment, how do you help them? What do you do to help them with their game?
Yeah, so the question we've been often asked is how can we compete with Steam, which actually a very large platform, a monopolist. But the thing is that the publishers, they also don't want Steam to be the only seller of the games, because they don't like monopoly, and so they actively support third-party. This is so-called third-party games distribution, the distributions without Steam and other large platforms. And so we can offer some titles which are not on Steam. We have exclusives promotions from some publishers where you can buy games at our platform like 3 times cheaper than on the Steam by that moment. And so that's how it works.
Incredible! Wow, that's a good pitch for sure. How do you see the industry moving forward over the next couple of years?
Yeah, so speaking about the gaming industry in general, so the trends are is virtual reality. So many companies now are working on special gadget. I'm sure you heard about gadget from Sony and now from Apple. And so the whole gaming industry is moving in that direction. And speaking about platforms, also mobile platforms is now it grows really fast. Also because of a new generation of children who are now growing up with mobile phones or iPads, and so these are two major trends in the industry.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, so the new technology, new customers, I love it. And how do you find customers at the moment? Is it SEO? Is it advertising, partnerships, a mix of everything?
Yeah, so speaking about marketing, of course, is generally mixed of everything. We used everything what we can do. We use both SEO, Google AdWords, but yeah, I think the channels which work better are partnerships with some communities, game communities, and YouTubers, because many games they have a huge army of fans, and so they like to discuss the games. They like to discuss all updates which are being released, and so what we try to do, we try to reach such communities, and so try to support them, giving them free games for release, and so marketing partnerships.
Yeah, so community, that's interesting. So community is a big part of your marketing, going and talking
Yeah.
to communities online.
Yes.
Interesting. And has AI had a big impact in gaming yet, or do you think it will?
So speaking about e-commerce industry, it's definitely will be the huge thing. We are now just starting to implement some things like AI bots, for example, and also some AI tools for pricing. So actually, we're starting just this year. So we are looking for results. But yes, I'm sure it will become more and more popular. And so we use it already.
Excellent. And is it a good thing or a threat to the business?
No, I definitely don't believe that it's a threat to the business. It only helps us at the moment.
Incredible, excellent. And you've plans then for global expansion, or what's the plans for the business going forward?
Yeah, so speaking about our gaming business, all publishers, they allow you to sell in specific regions. So it's not the whole world. It could be like Eastern Europe, Western Europe. So we're going to here step by step. And so trying to expand to Western Europe from Eastern Europe. We already have some contracts which allow us to sell. So we have rights to sell in Western Europe now. And as I said, we are going to launch our platform autumn this year, and we'll see.
Incredible, excellent. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking to get into the gaming industry, or people who are thinking, I want a career in gaming? Any tips?
So firstly, in general, I believe that you should choose a large market to create a company, because even you will even if you are a small business, but you are in a large market, you have a lot of opportunities. And so gaming industry is definitely one of that, because it's the largest entertainment industry. So there's a lot of opportunities and very different sub-markets is here, virtual reality, cybersport, and everything. So yes, I think it's definitely a good industry to start with. And if you are thinking of creating a company now, you should definitely look to the new trends, so to be a step ahead And so to be here in a couple of years, so we'll look for a growing trend which are now emerging.
Incredible. And you mentioned esports or that sector. Has esports been good for the gaming industry?
For the gaming industry, yes, it's generally a good thing because it's attract a lot of viewers, and it's actually it's adding some new customers to the games because they following the tournament, for example, and they start to play by themselves. So yes, it's also a very good marketing field. This all cybersport tournaments. So yes, I definitely think that it helps the industry to grow.
It's super interesting. And when I go on to platforms like YouTube, there's so many gaming videos, and I go on to social media, there's so many videos of people playing, and even we mentioned streaming earlier. Has that been good? So many people sharing content, has that been good for the industry and brought a lot of people in as well?
So I think this is a two-edged sword because actually, from one point of view, it's definitely good because, as in the previous example, it helps to attract new people who can watch some streamer and then buy a game. But I also know a lot of people who refuse to play games because they can just watch a game playing by a streamer. So yes, it can be good or bad.
Yeah, no, it's incredible for me. I'm thinking the joys of playing a game versus the joys of watching it. I understand watching a game to see how it works, but I don't understand not playing the game. So it's a different mindset.
Definitely, that sounds strange, but now many games, they are very cinematic, so they can be staged by a famous director. So there was a game which was staged by Guillermo del Toro, which is a famous Spanish film director. So you definitely can watch some games, and it will be very enjoyable experience.
Incredible. Wow. I'm going to have to watch it for that. When you look at your journey and how you've grown the business, what are some of the lessons or things that you wish you knew when you're starting, if you're starting again today?
One thing which people usually don't like to tell, but if you want to build a really strong team, you need to let people go. And like nobody likes to fire people. And so I saw a lot of examples where founders, they kind of procrastinate, letting people go, just giving them chances again and again. But the thing is that from the beginning, if you want to build a strong team, you need to let people go. If you feel like they are not suitable, they are not fulfill your requirements, and that's really important. And the second thing, it's very important from the beginning to start delegating tasks. It's about management, but you need to learn it because as a founder, you need to focus on like strategic tasks, strategic goals. And so it's very important to understand how to delegate operational tasks from the beginning. So,
and amazing. Yeah, no, I get both points, and I can feel your pain, and it's not always easy to do both of them. So that's sage advice. So brilliant. How did you decide on the business model and the platform? What made you go down the path you went with them?
You mean in technical aspects or in which kind of aspects?
In technical and in business, the business model itself, yeah.
Okay. So speaking about business model, we originally started as just e-commerce platform. We were a B2C, but then we also saw an opportunity in B2B, and so now part of our business became B2B because we supply other small shops with the keys, the contracts we have. But originally our business model was like pure e-commerce, so just internet store.
And has the partners with the shops, has that been a good decision?
Yes, definitely. It's still not the major part of our business, but yes, it helps us to grow and so to scale our business.
Excellent. And you talked about VR and AR. So will the future of games, will it be very immersive? Do you think that this technology and these new platforms be where all the games are played in the future?
Actually, I truly believe that there will be all options in the future. So it won't be like the games are now only VR or AR, which sometimes people believe. Definitely not, because I remember that like 20 years ago, people were saying that PC platform will be dead in like 5-10 years because of consoles. But now we see that PC is still alive. And so, yes, I truly believe that all kinds of games will be alive in the future, but definitely yes, the percent of VR and AI games will be huge.
And is there one, do you see like trends in different types of games and systems? Is it, do you see like different like first person games versus team games, or certain styles of games that are very, very popular and come and go? Or is it again a mix of everything?
Yeah, so popularity of games, it's very like it's like a fashion. A fashion, it's come and go. So at the moment, multiplayer games are very popular. So like Fortnite, PUBG, yeah, and GTA 5, which all have multiplayer mods, they are the most popular. But yes, as with platforms, I believe that there will be place for any kind of games and for indie games. So there are examples, a game Balatro, which was created just by one developer, by one person, and it became in top sales of Steam. So I think that the good thing about gaming industry is that there are places for all kind of games, especially with digital distribution, where one man can create a game and publish it. But like at this precise moment, I think that multiplayer games are dominating.
Wow, again, it's incredible, so interesting. And one, as you mentioned, the one person game company, do you think that that's going to be something we see more of in the future? More small, very small companies, 1, 2, 3 people creating really, really popular games?
Yes, so it's there is a genre of games which is called indie games, which like a games which was created by independent developers, and this trend emerged with developing of digital distribution, because before, in order to be in the physical store, you have to have a contract with the publishers and everything. But now you can just create a game by your own and so sell it via Steam without any contracts, without any publishers. So digital platforms actually helps developers to create games and just publish them in one click. And so yes, it's definitely will be a trend.
Incredible. And we see the odd time for people outside of the gaming industry, some consolidation and game companies buying other game companies. Is that something that you expect to continue?
Yes, definitely. The thing is that now the cycle of a game development, speaking about really AAA games like GTA 5, they became so they need more time to develop, and they became more and more expensive. So, for example, GTA 5 was developed something like 6 years, while GTA 6, which is announced to be released next year, the cycle is 11 years. So it's nearly doubled. And so, yes, when it took so much resources, companies need to, so there will be mergers and acquisitions in order to create really good projects.
Wow, that is an incredible length of time to make a
Yes.
game. I didn't realize. That's amazing. But when you on board your customers, your customers. So I guess your customers are the game developers themselves.
No, it's just usual gamers who want to play games, so they just buy game on our platform. We have game developers as our suppliers on the other side of the business.
Yeah, brilliant. So what support do you provide them? Do you give them anything else, or is it a self-serve platform? They come and list their products?
Yeah, it's definitely a self-serve platform, and so that's something good about it, because we don't need to like privately speak with each customer. So he just buy a game. He receives a license code via email, and actually that's it. Of course, if something goes wrong and he wants to ask questions, we're here. But in general, the customer can do everything by himself.
And we talked about the different types of games. You see a very diverse range of games coming out all the time. So you mentioned indie and multiplayer. Yeah. So it's really broad.
A light spectrum, yes.
Wow, incredible, excellent. And do you think that again that will continue? Yeah.
Yes. So I truly believe there will always be a large spectrum, but in terms of trends and fashion, I'm sure there will be different types of games which are popular now and which will be popular in 5 years. But yes, there always will be a large spectrum, and every gamer will be able to choose a game in a genre he likes.
Incredible. And a question I've always had about games: is there much cheating, or do people cheat in online games now today? And is there challenges around data security as well?
So yes, people do cheat in computer games, and it's especially about these multiplayer games where people actually compete with each other, because if it's like a one-person game, you don't need to cheat, because you are not competing with other people. And yes, of course, this developers of the games I've mentioned, like Fortnite and PUBG, so they spend a lot of their resources in anti-cheating platform. And yes, that is a real issue, especially with the trend I mentioned, emerging popularity of these multiplayer competing games.
Yeah, brilliant. And we mentioned platforms like Steam. How, like, again, it's a, as you said, it's a big company, and a lot of businesses would be afraid to go up to or to compete against these big platforms. How do you stay relevant and differentiate yourself from platforms like that?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because actually Steam is a monopolist, and we never actually have ambitions to become a new Steam. I think that's absolutely impossible. But in some markets we can successfully compete with Steam. For example, in in some regions like Eastern Europe, where we can, for example, provide a customer with some payments methods which Steam don't support, because Steam is a global platform, so without any local payment methods. And also, as I mentioned, because we have huge support from publishers who are interested in the growth of this third-party distribution, we can offer offers which sometimes much better than Steam has. So
brilliant, excellent. And I'm sure you don't have time today, but if you were to play one game, what would be your favorite game, or historically, what has been your favorite game to play?
It would be Last of Us, a game from Sony, which I liked a lot and is my favorite game.
Amazing, yeah, good. I love the genre, so brilliant. I love it. So if someone wants to find out more about your platforms, or to find out more about yourselves and what you're doing, what's the best way for them to do that?
Find me on LinkedIn. My name is Mikhail Tsyrulnikov, and so there is you can find all information here.
Excellent. And we'll make sure we link to your LinkedIn and your websites underneath this video. So again, thank you very much for your time today. It's been super interesting and brilliant to find out about the gaming industry and how your platform works as well.
Yeah, Karen, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Brilliant.